Naveed is a 5-star flame sword unit, and is one of the early 5-star units in the flame element, and is also part of the very first wave of mana spiral units. The former fact presents an issue, which is a relatively unimpressive combination and lack of synchronization of his skills and abilities. His standout trait was that he can consistently achieve higher defense when compared to other attack units back in the day, thanks to his skill 2 and its low SP cost. After the mana spiral upgrade, Naveed not only gains significantly higher damage output, he also becomes a lot tankier. Let's dive further into detail into his kit. His first skill, Crystalline Blades, costs 2590 SP. It deals at least 1388% damage, and dispel 1 buff from each enemy. For each use of Radiant Bauble, this skill deals additional 3 hits of 140% damage, with a maximum of 15 hits for 5 uses of Radiant Bubble, totaling up to 2100% extra damage. This skill is Naveed's major damage dealing skill, and has a relatively low SP cost for the amount of damage he can deal, even before the mana spiral upgrade. The addition of Dispel is a welcomed one, with Voke and Jolder both requiring more dispelling units. The extra damage from Radiant Bauble, which is his skill 2, allows Naveed to deal a lot of damage with this skill as the battle goes on. Overall, this skill is a powerful damage dealing skill with low SP cost. His second skill, Radiant Bauble, costs 3544 SP, quite low for a skill of the second slot. It activates the Crystalline Blades buffed effect, represented by red jewels floating around him. This effect enhances skill 1 in the form of the aforementioned additional 3 hits for each stack, up to 5 stacks. This effect is permanent until the quest ends. This skill also grants 10 seconds of 20% defense and 20% strength. This skill is Naveed's buffing skill. Its main highlight is definitely the enhancing of his first skill. In its previous level, the additional effect is only a 15% defense increase. The addition of strength increase, and adjusting them to 20% allows this skill to remain useful as a buffing skill after he gains the maximum stacks of Crystalline Blades buffed. Not to mention the incredibly low SP cost for a skill of the second slot. Overall, this skill was improved offensively and is a powerful self-enhancing skill that can make Naveed hit harder and tank harder. Naveed has the typical Dragon Haste as his main co-ability, and a Chain co-ability that provides a 6% strength boost when HP is above 60%. The Chain co-ability isn't the best, but it's not too bad, as it is quite easy to gain that 6% strength buff. For Naveed's abilities, all 3 of them received improvements, with the 2 of them significantly empowering Naveed. His Slayer's Flurry strength is an improvement from the normal Slayer's strength he had, with the addition of 8% Flurry strength slapped onto it, making this ability usable when dealing with single enemy bosses. His Slayer's strength comes through when fighting enemy hordes, such as in some events or even Jolder both summons. His potent Sleep Resist is another source of strength boost for Naveed, and is an upgrade to his Sleep Resist. Other than that, not much else to say about this ability. His third ability, Flame Blades Protection, gives Naveed 100% skill prep, with additional 20% defense boost when Crystalline Blades buffed is active. As this effect is permanent and active upon activation of his second skill once, this 20% defense boost is almost permanent on Naveed. The 20% defense boost is no small figure, and makes Naveed significantly more tanky. Naveed has a kit with high damage and good attack and defense boosts. The low SP costs on both of his skills also makes his build flexible. For starters, the low SP cost on his defense boosting skill 2 allows double buff abilities to be viable on him, which we currently have strength, energy, and critical damage for offensive forms, and healing for a defensive form. He'll also go well with almost all offense abilities, as a sword unit is quite flexible in gameplay. You can outfit him depending on how you use him as a sword unit. The one exception is skill haste, as he already has a very low SP cost on both of his skills. For his dragon, there are so many in the flame element to choose from. The best picks for Naveed are Mars, Reborn and E, and Sakuya with their high damage buffs. Sakuya is listed here as Naveed has high skill damage, especially when he has all 5 stacks of the Crystalline Blades buffed effect, which totals up to 3488% damage. Other flame dragons that are suitable are Horus, Gozuteno, and Arctus. Ani and Cerberus are viable, if none of the aforementioned dragons are available at maximum unbound, but do try to farm for Sakuya or Arctus from the story mode if possible, unless you absolutely don't have them at all. Flame Agito weapons aren't exactly the best among the Agito, with a basic strength buff and healing skill, accompanied by combo time and defense buff respectively. They are relatively simple, but quite good for most units, especially melee units. The Nothin will be a good weapon on him. As for how I use it on Naveed, I normally enable the strength buffing variant of the weapon skill, and switch to the healing and defense up variant, when I need Naveed to tank more damage. When I use the defensive skill more dominantly, I'll replace healing double buff from my Wimprint setup, and replace it with an offensive print. If you do not have the Nothin appropriately leveled and unbound, the Absolute Crimson will be the next best weapon to have. It is a lot easier to obtain too, as high Brunhilde stages aren't too difficult nowadays, especially in Master difficulty, where it was considered to be one of the easiest Master High Dragon trials for a very long time. For Wimprints, a dominance of double buffs are present in my kit. My Dominion prints are normally small crit rate prints or skill haste prints. The main slots are the double buff prints, with additional crit rate and skill damage, to boost his damage even further. Naveed was an underutilized unit before his mana spiral update, as he was overshadowed by other flame units with higher damage output. Having a more defensive play, while classified as an attack unit, wasn't exactly appealing to many players. The mana spiral update made him one of the top flame units in game, maintaining his high defense, while having a significantly higher attack from his skills and abilities that provide him more strength. The only weakness that I can nitpick is his susceptibility to stun, as it was annoying when dealing with High Midgardsormr, but that can be completely nullified by 2 4-star Wimprints that provide 50% stun resist each. Perhaps another weakness is the amount of investment needed to make him powerful, as without a mana spiral, he does not perform quite well. Overall, Naveed is a unit that requires a lot of resources to invest into, but the reward is very much worth it. You're getting a sword unit with high offense and defense stats, with skills that can be activated very quickly. Now go out there and be a crazy man like me, soloing High Midgardsormr with Naveed alone. That's all from me. Moga out.